What's up? What's up? What's up with everybody? I know I look dark. Welcome to Hits
I
and
am dark.
Heels. And
I am dark.
it's Wednesday night. It's time for Hits and Heels. My name is Coach Terri Bryant. This is my husband. Coach Bryant.
Come on,
He
baby.
made me a football coach. We coach here. We're probably one of the only husband and wife coaching duos, coaching football across the nation. But we are right here in Lexington, Kentucky. We coach middle school football
Crawford Middle School.
at Crawford Middle School. Go Cougars! And welcome to episode 110. Episode 110. So we're going today, Coach Bryant. We're going to talk the Heisman Trophy, Heisman hype. We're gonna talk
Yeah, I got a
playoff
problem with
battles,
that.
and don't you come and be with no problem with him winning it.
No, not
Don't
him
you,
winning
Don't
it.
you come with that?
No, he deserved it.
Okay,
That's not the problem.
Okay,
That's not the
then what's
problem.
Okay, we good.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your intro.
I got a problem with everybody's got a problem with him winning.
But okay, do your intro.
Oh,
Use
okay.
intro.
Oh, my bad.
Here we go. Hold on.
Hold on.
Take two. There we go. Take two.
So anyway, we are we're gonna talk the transfer portal madness. We're gonna talk we might have some guests coming on, and but we're gonna chop it up. But Coach Bryant already pulled up the whole Heisman hype. I think he deserved it, and I am really upset about people having a problem with him not winning. And I think one of the biggest things is they're saying that he didn't lead in most categories. But to me, the most important thing that he led in is that he led everybody in total snaps because he played both sides of the ball. And name somebody else in all of FBS in the last 15 years that's played both sides of the ball the way he has.
Well, and I like how you said that, Coach, is the biggest thing for me that he did is he just didn't play both sides. He played both sides. And if you've never did that at that level to even master, I'm gonna say he mastered both sides. I'm gonna use that word. And what he did, it was amazing.
I forgot to share us.
Oh,
go ahead.
I forgot to share us.
I forgot to share us.
She forgot to share
but
us.
Yes.
Share us.
I'm sharing us.
Share.
My bad. Go ahead.
Christmas.
Go ahead, Coach Bryant.
It's Christmas. We share.
Go ahead, Coach Bryant.
I'm just saying. But that my biggest problem that took place. Are we shared?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm more to we share. What I'm about to say is shareable. It's shareable. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a word, shareable. Okay. All right. And let me know when we shared. So and then we're talking about what it is we're talking about the Heisman. And I think most of the hating is because they don't like Dion.
I do too.
And it's flamboyant.
Yeah.
But somebody tell me what year Dion wasn't Dion.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What's up, Coach? And but my thing that took place is how is his son not in New York?
Because he had been okay. So are they using
I don't know
Oregon's quarterback because
it was
they're number one?
It wasn't Oregon's quarterback. It was Miami's quarterback.
Right. Oregon's quarterback was on there too.
I guess. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
So did they have him because
I don't know.
His team is number one?
I can't answer that.
That was part of the.
All I'm saying is, if it's just a 4-panel, you got to make it 5.
Then you should have added,
because he should have been there.
Should have been on there too.
Okay, and then you go back to Hunter, and I'm saying as a defensive back, and for him to not miss a series and go on the Colorado's offense and defensive side of the ball and do what he did, it's amazing. And because a lot of times he will get wet shoes, that means we eat that stuff up.
Right.
That is a purple thing.
Whatever.
And with that said, is they figured he was tired and they was trying to take advantage of him being tired. But the young man is amazing.
Absolutely.
But going back to Deion Sanders' son, I mean, that young man put on a clinic. When if you don't believe it, Google it, highlight it.
Yeah, he put on a clinic. He put on a clinic too. Well, listen, we're gonna come back to that because we got a special guest that just popped on, and I don't want to hold him up because he's just popping on. We're gonna save him for another episode. Coach Gal, you available?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
What up, Coach?
Good, Coach.
So much. How you doing?
Good. So let me introduce y'all to Coach Gallen, in case y'all may not know who he is. So, fun fact: my first 2 years of college, I attended Kansas State University, the other Wildcats. And now y'all know we're here at Wildcat Company. And Coach Gallen was a standout player that was there, but now he turned into a coach, and he just they just won the Celebration Bowl at Jackson State because he is the running backs coach there. So I want to congratulate him.
Thank you.
And you have no idea that your girl here, I didn't know she had pom-poms. She was in the bedroom, really, you know, she was more excited than y'all were, or equally excited. Let me say that. I'm gonna put that out there. She didn't want me to put that out there. But she was like, that's a bad call. So congratulations on your bowl win, definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so what's the difference between the Celebration Bowl and what Tennessee State won?
Yes, good question.
I'm not familiar with what Tennessee State won. What did they win?
Oh!
I could run with that. I could run with that. I could.
No. I don't mean any offense to anybody.
Hey, I got a minor in being a comedian. I'm just gonna let you know.
So, Coach, we're our son, we're SEC, so we're FBS, so we're not familiar with a lot of the HBCUs, but of course, everybody's kind of been following Jackson State, but just because Deion left didn't mean that some of us like me didn't mean that I stopped watching.
No, we
we still have been following Jackson State and wanting to see Coach Taylor succeed and so excited about that. But we also have been following Coach George and what he's been doing over at Tennessee State. And I just saw that they won something, or I don't know what it was. I thought it was some of the championship. Maybe it was another bowl, or I don't know what it was.
I don't know what they won, but I know we played.
I know y'all.
The HBCU national championship game between the MEAC and the SWAC conference.
Good
so
stuff.
I'm not sure, and they're in a entirely different conference, which is in the OVC.
Okay.
South.
Okay, so maybe it was something different. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out what that is and stuff.
But
all I know is what y'all did was absolute, and it was the first time in school history too, right?
Correct. First time in school history to win the HBCU national championship game.
Wow.
That's huge.
Wow.
That's huge. Well, listen, so I haven't filled my husband in, so I'm filling him in right now. So Coach Gallen and his wife Dawn was the prettiest girl in our school when we grew up. She was prom queen, everything. She was the prettiest girl in our school, and she and I ran track together, and then we all went to Kansas State. Yeah, prettier than me. Yeah, Dawn is cold.
Okay. All right. I'm not coming in. I'm just saying.
Dawn was cold.
Coach, don't get me in that either, Coach. I don't want to be in that. I do not want to be in
that school. And her sister, Dr. Crystal, is probably the smartest, right? And so those are my girls. We went to church together. We went to school together, and we went to Kansas State together. And then that's where Don and Coach Gallen met. And we actually had. I'm still good friends with G. I should have texted Gio and told him you was coming on here. I just saw him a couple years ago in Dallas. He's still one of my best friends. I don't know anybody. I'm trying to think who else.
Good evening, Mr. Dale.
Who else you had?
Question.
Man, I hate what happened to Elijah Alexander. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Who else I remember? Evan Simpson. Who else y'all had in that class?
You remember all of them?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's funny you should say that.
Me and James Enoku still talk. We talk on a regular basis.
J-E-N-O?
Yeah. So we just played in Texas a couple weeks ago. My son, we did, and I checked him to see. He was like, I'm not getting ready to deal with all that traffic, but he watched the game, and he was just texting me some things from the game. No, me and J.O. is like this.
James he's a different cat. You know what I mean? He's a quiet. He's always been quiet, but whenever he talks to you, you always listen. I used to always listen to him whenever he talked because he never really used to talk that much. So I listened to him, but I cannot remember. Oh my goodness! Wow, James Enoki. That all the names you pull out from Kansas State, James Enoki. Like, okay, this.
Well, a dog.
He's
a dog.
Yeah,
I can't remember even how we became friends, but I mean, I was just on campus, so
yeah. But do you know a lot of those guys from that team, from the 91 team that we were kind of special that particular year, a lot of those guys have passed away. Some of those guys have passed away that I was really close with.
Oh, I didn't know. The only one I knew about was Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah Evan Simpson. He passed away.
He passed.
Yes, he had passed away too, and so did Steve Moulton from that team passed away. William Price, T. Price, passed away. Yeah, so it's kind of like, wow, man, what are we, this day and age, it's like, okay, to live past the age of 60 is, oh my goodness, it's like golden, but, I miss those guys.
Mr. Brown said you have a DJ Sports voice, very powerful.
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you, never mind. Okay. That's crazy. People and the people say that in this building too all the time, and the coaches do it. And they're always wanting me to say something or do something.
So that's why your running backs are on point. Because when you give them that voice,
let me tell you, the running backs on point. Okay, I'll be honest. The running backs on point because they're pretty good, but at the same time, there's a standard. The standard is you know what I mean. And when I see where we need to be on the standard, then they kind of jump to it a little bit. So.
Well, I have a question, and my question is going back to y'all's championship win. When did it sink in what y'all as a group, a team, accomplished? Because a lot of times when you live in the moment, you don't appreciate the moment. So has it sunk in yet?
Not really. We were just talking about that today, and I was just holding that trophy. We had some visits here, some young men visiting today, and no, it has not sunk in. And even after the game, I was like, okay, now what? Do we go in the office and do we start preparing for next year? Do we? What is there?
Take 48 hours.
It wasn't even 48 hours.
Right.
It was probably back in the grind. Seriously, after the game, we went into the locker room at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and it was 10 minutes later. We were like, is that the national championship? Like, is there there's something else that we wanted to achieve, but we weren't going to. And we really didn't have time to embrace it because, right immediately after the game, we started, getting back and started getting on the recruiting trail and having recruits come in and all this other stuff. So we really I don't know if it's going to hit. And I was talking with Coach T.C. Taylor about this, and we were having that conversation. And he was like, it'll hit you later. You'll it still hasn't hit yet. And some of the other coaches have said that. It just hasn't hit that, okay, you're national champions, you went 12-2. But we're still upset about the 2 games we lost. We still
always.
You know how it is, Coach. We reverberate right back to what the heck happened in those 2 games. And it's like, and we can look at the very pivotal moments in those games and tell you why we lost.
So what I think it will hit in is when the dead period comes, is where you get that few days off where you can't recruit, you can't do this and you can't do that. And but it still goes back to that many of us are very proud of what you and the head coach and every coach on that staff and the players, the trainers, and people don't realize that the president of the college has to support and this people in general. So again, it was amazing. And I don't mean like shocking amazing. I mean, it was amazing.
It shocked a lot of other people though, because they didn't intend it. They had us picked to finish.
Well, when I saw y'all play, and I really mean this. I forget what game it was, and I couldn't tell as a defensive minded coach what y'all was going to run on offense because whoever was calling your play was playing chess, not checkers, and he did a very good job in the championship game of calling the plays. If that's the same person who called them.
Yeah, there's a collective. You know what I mean? Like TC he's the offensive coordinator. He's the play caller, but it's collectively done by the entire offensive staff. So we collectively come up with the game plan, which is one of the reasons why I really like Jackson State University and Coach TC.
That's unusual.
Very much so. He allows everyone to have input. Like that game plan, that wasn't just one person. That game plan was a collective of all the coaches that put together pieces. And as we break down film, and the thing is, we watch a lot of film together. We don't do it separate. So we'll go and watch together. So just for instance, the O-line coach will sit there and say, hey, you know what? I like to run this particular formation with this on this down because we know they like to line up in this. Bam, that plays now on the script. So then the quarterback coach, Kirk, he'll go in and say something and he'll be like, oh, okay, I like to pass on first down because we know they're going to be in quarters. Right. So here's a concept that we think is a quarter beater for us that we like to use. And then the wide receiver coach would do it, and then I would do it, and the tight end coach, and so forth. So that whole thing is collective. And then even on game day, now there's a lot of times on game day, everybody's sitting there saying, hey, I want to run such and such. And we'll call it because that's what they want to run. And TC just loves it.
Oh, I love that.
That is man, that's unusual because your defense, your offensive coordinator has to be a spiritual person because and the meaning he's not trying to walk on water. Only Jesus did that.
And he's also
and head coach, but that is because title brings ego.
Correct. And there's no ego in the building. And that's the one thing he told me when he brought me back. He was like, G, we don't walk, he called me G. G, we don't walk no eggshells around here. There's no eggshells. So when you come back, you're gonna see it's a different environment in which I saw it was a totally different environment. And then when we started getting in and started really looking and delving into everything, there are things that, and I know sometimes, like I love to copy or mimic something that I've seen from across the nation. You know what I mean?
I'll steal your stuff in a minute.
Correct. And I like to incorporate it and bring it in, and I'll say, hey, you know what? I saw such and such and such do this. But I gotta make sure I know how it fits into our whole scheme. So we're not creating a whole new element, but it fits within the parameters of what we've already done. So, but it's, and he would say, okay, let's do it. Or is there sometimes he's like, okay, tell me why. Tell me why you want to do this. Tell me how it works. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's pretty fascinating when that happens, but then you wind up finding its way in. And even in that game, I wanted to call a sprint draw. I said, Coach, it'd be really nice right here. We call sprint draw. He looks at me, he says, okay, let's go call it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, dude, okay, here we go. We call it the formation, give the play, boom, we run it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but based on how they align, it looks like it should, but it may be one missed assignment, or sometimes play just may not work in that particular situation. He doesn't hold it against you because you know how you'll want to call something And if it doesn't work, they want to blame you and say, "Oh, well, see, it didn't work. I told you." You know what I mean? So, but it's not like
our offensive coordinators like that. I'll walk up to him and I'll be like, "Coach, throw a bomb," or "Coach, do this," and he'll be like, "Okay, cool, we'll do it." Right. First, sometimes he'll give me some flack, but then he'll turn around and he'll do it, and just to tease me with it. But I think he had to process it first to see
exactly. Because you have to see it as an offensive coordinator
first, and
being
then
a former coordinator, you have to kind of see it. Like, okay, I can visualize it, I can get it. There it is.
Yeah, and because I always say to the coach here, I said, I've got something in my head, and you've got to use words to see see your vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like anything in life. When somebody's trying to explain something, I go, whoa, explain it so I can understand it.
Correct. Correct.
Because a lot of times people explain stuff so they can understand it. Then they get frustrated with you when you don't understand it.
Right. Right.
So, but what was the biggest play that you knew that Mo was coming on your side? What was the play that in your head said, "Oh yeah, here we go"? Or was it a play?
Yeah, it was when, and I'll be honest with you, and a lot of times, sometimes you can see it before it happens. Like TC says, "Hey, I think it's time for what we call a coke and go," and that was the long pass in the game.
Yes.
And I'm saying in my head, I was saying in my head, I was just about to tell him that it's time for a coke and go. You know what I mean? So as soon as we ran it and when we short motion H receiver in, and now he's lined up on top of that safety, and that safety now tries to creep down, and he does his, break his end route, and then he gets vertical. I knew as soon as he broke inside, I knew as soon. You can watch the game and you'll see everybody on the side.
I saw it, and
everybody knew
the safety's up there going after the play happened. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly.
Right. That's one.
Yeah, he bit down big time. We call that on the defensive side.
What's that?
We call that being a Pop-Tart. He popped up.
He popped up. He did. You're right. That's exactly what happened. Because as soon as it did it, we was looking like, oh my God. I said, this dude's wide open. We're all on the headset.
Don't drop it.
Right. But he's done a good job whenever we did that. But we dressed it up and we set it up though earlier. We had done the same exact thing. Then we ran a shallow coming across, and then after that shallow, then we turned around and so he said, "Okay, we know we got the shallow. We had the shallow. They saw the shallow come across. Now we can just push vertically." And then
the safety really, because I remember that play. Y'all was going this way on the left side, and he came down, and it was the middle of the field. Yeah, and then all of a sudden he jumped that, and he really thought his name was going to get in the paper.
Correct. And we knew it was wrong what he had done. As soon as he ran by it. So now we're all saying, okay, the quarterback, all he has to do is throw it to the left upright. Right. But the ball didn't go to the left upright. It kind of drifted over a little bit, which drifted to the other safety.
But he was so wide open. Yeah. He was so wide open.
Still got to put the ball where it's supposed to be. That's the quarterback will tell you. Because we all know what everybody's rules are, where the ball's supposed to be going, where it's supposed to be thrown. Because we all talk about it in those rooms. So I wouldn't know that as a running. A lot of running back coaches probably wouldn't even care about where the ball's supposed to be placed. But the way we do things in our office, everybody knows. Like even if a running back does something wrong, hey coach, if he just stays A gap, and you're sitting there like, yeah, I know, I coached that. You know what I mean? So everybody knows what everybody's rules are when we go through that. And it's done as a team effort.
Well, I know he don't know us, and you're just not getting to know me. But congratulations to him. If he feels like coming on and telling his story, and we're not a big platform, but we would love to have him come on if he feels like coming on. But I know he's going to be busy, Coach Taylor. But I know he's going to be busy for the next 6 months because everybody and their mama is going to be wanting him on their platform. But
you know what though, he takes time. He takes time out to do stuff like that. He's not what you think. He's really a quiet person. He's an introvert.
Okay. But with that said, I can tell that, and I've been coaching for a long time. You know, I'm probably been coaching longer than, you know, I ain't gonna ask you what's your age, but I've been doing this a while, and I've been around a lot of coaches. And when you said everybody has an input, I'm looking at you like, wow.
I love it.
I mean, like, wow. There's only a few that does it that way, and he makes the ultimate decision, of course. But with that said, is and God loves positive people and positive emotion. So, and I say that again, I'm so proud of what y'all did. I mean,
we are.
And I said again, I didn't know she could still do the splits at her age. She was in there, you know, doing her thing. Y'all was getting that dove.
He's so silly. He's so silly. It's silly. Hey, Don, your wife's on. Glad to see you. Thanks, Don. But anyway, so Coach, I'm going to give you your whole own platform.
Yes.
Where we can do a deep dive. We'd like to start from the beginning at K-State. I didn't tell him. So both of your son and our son are both legacy recruits. So like your son, he started at Virginia and then he transferred to his alma mater at Kansas State. Right. And then our son is here at Kentucky, where my husband had played. And so he had one of his stories that he liked to talk about is how one of his best games was at Kansas State.
I got 2 touchdowns.
That was a long.
Hey, hold on.
It was before your time, Coach.
Hold on. Time out.
It was before your time. You wasn't there,
Coach. First of all, as y'all partner up on me, okay, both of y'all didn't have to go long. ... Y'all could just say it was back in the day.
Because we knew it couldn't have been any time in my era and forward. Because we too good for that. No.
I could score 2.
Hey, one of my very good friends who I spoke to today was a coach at Kentucky, and that was Michael Smith. He was a wide receiver coach there for a while.
Yes.
So I can't talk too much about it because they did have you guys have some good runs. You know, you guys done some really good stuff there. So
very good competitive. And but the one thing that we do have in common, the University of Kentucky and Kansas State has in common, we did steal y'all backwards Wildcat look.
Yes.
Because all we did was turn it the other way.
Correct. Yes.
When I saw it for the first time, I thought of, hold up.
This looks like
Kansas State. You know, and I'm old school. And my wife would tell you, do I have any of the new Kansas look? No, mine is the old Wildcat look. And there's nothing wrong with it, but from at my age of grinding what I did when I played back in the day. Oh, I'm sorry, long ... time ago. Are y'all both comfortable with that?
You didn't have to go there. That's all. Because you could, you know what I mean?
Because I'm still going back on that comment both of y'all saying long.
Yeah, I mean, you still talking about you beat us like what? Man, that had to be the
right before your time, right, Coach?
Again, both of y'all, we got it. It was a long time ago. We got it. No, I'm just kidding. But that they do have that in common, you know, and being in Kansas State and doing your thing there, and then also doing your thing as a coach. Now, I have a quick question that's going to be repeated when you come on solo, Bobby Brown, when you do your solo, is okay. Did you start off in high school? That's my question to you.
Oh, yeah, he went to high school. Sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
Did I start off in high school?
Your coaching career.
You start off in high school?
Yeah, I started in high school.
Okay.
Well, actually, I started in Little League with my son.
Oh, with Little League. Okay. So you did the basics.
In the Pop Warner days.
Yeah.
I was doing Pop Warner and high school together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can 100% relate to that. So, all right. Anything?
I don't know. I want to save everything for when I have him.
Yeah, I know it. Because she, you don't see her. She's like tapped me a little bit because she don't want me to ask a lot of questions because, you know, we want to keep this going. And I'm just excited to talk to you. I really mean that. Meaning, and I can't emphasize even more what the wife said about Jackson State doing what they did and making it. And I'm a Dion guy. You know, he did play for my 49ers for 1 year.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I became more of a fan of him, of that. And then he went to that other team that she likes. What, I don't know.
Now you do realize I'm a huge fan of the Cowboys too.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen. Now this has been
Cowboys.
I say it all the time. Beautiful, intelligent, athletic, but her only fault, she's a Cowboys fan.
I knew something was coming as a setup. I knew he was setting it up for that stage. But no, I've been a Cowboy fan all my life. I mean, like since I can remember, because my mom was a Cowboy fan, and they're from Madison, Florida, which is in the country, like near Tallahassee, Florida. And she grew up as a Cowboy fan, and everything that we had was all Cowboys, from our bed sheets to our pillowcases to our curtains.
Wow.
To our towels that were in our bathroom, to our shower curtains, everything. It was all Cowboys. And
well,
so
I can relate to that. I can relate. Oh, she don't have all that, but I mean, it's sort of like I can be out coaching baseball because it's that time now during the summer, and the Cowboys are playing, and I don't have to watch the game to know if they win or lose. I'm telling you right now, this beautiful woman laid back. Whoa. I mean, I want to call them and go, can y'all please win? You have no idea what you're bringing to my house.
You know, I as I watch them play, and it's just sometimes it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, really, what are we doing? Like, but it is what it is, and it's tough in that league. It's tough. I mean, and everybody's really good players on that level. But sometimes I just wonder, I'm like, man, come on, can we get it together? Because I'm a really diehard Cowboy fan, and I'm always going to root for them and always want them to be successful. But it's like, okay, at some point we got to figure out something, you know. Right. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but because I don't want to be that Monday morning quarterback. But Jesus, okay, what are we doing?
Hey, they give you material to work with, right?
A lot of material. It's like, what are we doing?
Mr. Brown wants to know if you played with any NFL pro players from Florida, because you were with the Patriots, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I played with a few of them. There was a few. Matter of fact, speaking of that, Kenny Gant, who's called the Shark Man with Dallas, he's from Lakeland. We went to Kathleen together.
Oh,
so we went to school together at the same time. And Kenny moved back to Dallas. Okay. And so he's out there, and he's doing his thing, and he does a lot of promotional things with the Cowboys, and does a lot of signings, a lot of appearances and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I play with there's quite a few guys out from Florida that I know that I played with. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Dawn.
What was that?
His wife. Look how beautiful she is.
And the thing is, she knows I don't really like talking a lot. You know that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
No. I cannot stand it, but I do it because it's just part of whatever it is. It is.
What part of it is? I mean, it's just so exciting. I mean, it is so exciting for Jackson State. I have a couple of friends that I went to school with that went to Jackson State. I got because I'm from Mobile, so I got a couple of family members that also
hot down there, man.
Went to Jackson
Mobile.
State.
It is hot.
Hot.
So yeah.
Mobile.
He's silly.
You went to Kansas State from Mobile?
My parents were military.
Huh. Okay.
All of us in that area were from Junction City. Most of us are military.
All y'all love that. Y'all love that military life.
All of us are military brats. So yes. So I'm from Mobile, and so we were stationed in Junction. And then my parents ended up divorcing, so I ended up doing Matter of fact, I met Don and Crystal and Don in my 9th grade year because it was still junior high. So we did 9th through all high school, well, junior high and high school in Junction. But I did all junior high and all high school in Junction City. Or
Yeah,
Raleigh.
those were the critical years in the life where you would, gain a lot of your mannerisms and behavior. So
yeah, absolutely, yes. So and Junction, I mean, I love growing up in Junction, and I love having, like, here in where we are, there's like 9 schools, 5 or 6 high schools. I love growing up in a small city where we only had 1 high school,
right?
Because we're so close knit. And then everywhere I go when we travel, I never go someplace where there's nobody that I don't know that I went to school with.
That is true. That is true.
Isn't it?
Because I want to sit and relax, get ready, and she like, okay, I'm going to see so and so and so and so. No, I'm good. I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way. That's a blessing, and that's how smooth and able that she is, and I love that part about her. I love that about her.
Yeah, I mean, that's very unique though.
So I'm his running backs coach.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes when we're coaching, I have to Nick Saban her because because sometimes we've been coaching for 6 years. Our record at what happened is when our son ended up starting as a freshman, I stopped coaching varsity football and went to middle school. Correct. Because they play on Friday and we play on Thursday, and so we're 44-11. In 6 years, we've been in the championship game 3 times, and we've been in the Final Four 2 times. And during the COVID year, is the only time we didn't really play. It was 1 play away from making it to a Final Four again. But with that said, is with her coaching, she knows her game. I'm pretty sure. Do you watch preseason NFL? The 3rd week, ain't nobody watching that. And so all of a sudden I go, babe, they're not going to be on the team tomorrow. Why are we watching that? And she's sitting there watching it, yelling at the TV, telling the coach what he's not doing. So
then I ain't going to be there. They weren't going to be there.
So you feel me, right?
Right,
so the funniest part about it is there's only one time in 6 years of us coaching together that I had to say something to her. So she was saying something, going da 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 da, and I was like, "Hey, I'm the head coach." And I turned around, and the 2 other coaches standing there, like, "You in trouble?"
That's good.
She was like, "You're right. You're the head coach." And
she succeeded to that. Okay.
Yeah, she did. She has never. We have never taken anything from the field to our house. And the funniest thing about it is one time we actually worked in the same building together. And people didn't know we actually were, in the beginning, dating until an incident happened to her, and I showed dating emotion. I was not happy. And what that said is we've always, whatever goes in the football field stays. But only a few times she came home and said,
I need you to take over.
You need to do this or you need to do that. It doesn't happen very often.
I need you to take over.
And as a husband, we just go like this.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It don't matter what
it don't matter what now that Dawn is on too. I gotta say that,
yeah. That's when you just go, okay.
You're right.
No mas.
Because that's a battle you're not going to win.
Not even close.
Anyway, Coach, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Congratulations. Please tell your whole coaching staff that there's a lot of people all the way here in Kentucky in the SEC, and we're fans,
fans
of the team, and we're still rooting for you. And go ahead and run it back next year.
And that's the plan. Well, I thank you for that, and I'm sure when I express this sentiments to the head coach, Coach Taylor, he will definitely say the same. And we appreciate it all across, and it's tough. It's tough getting there. It was tough getting there, and it was tough maintaining staying on the track that we were trying to stay on. So yeah, I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad you did have me on here, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to share a little bit because I really don't share a whole lot majority of the time. I don't do a whole lot on social media unless it's just something
Oh, I
that
know you're never on social media.
I know. But my wife is on there, so she'll put it on there, and I'm sometimes glad that she does because she's like, "Did you see the post or did you see Chris?" I was like, "No, I didn't."
Well,
Well,
he's
pull
the
it up.
same
I'm
way.
like,
I have to tell him when to go.
Yeah,
look
she
at something.
does.
Yeah.
She'll say, "Hey, look at this post," and I'll be like, "Okay." And like, it's funny though. I get fussed at because somebody, and you probably can relate. I get fussed at. They'll say, "Man, I befriended you 5 weeks ago," and I go, "My wife didn't tell me."
right, you know what I mean? I don't
I bet
know.
he's got 3, 4. I bet he's got about 1,000 friend requests.
I know I do too, and
Right?
because I went and looked at that thing. As soon as I look at that one post, I'm off of it, and then I just swipe it and I'm done, and I close it out. You know what I mean? And especially during the season, I definitely don't look at it. But
You don't have time during the
the only
season.
thing I really, truly, honestly look at majority of the time is Twitter because we use that platform.
Oh yeah,
To
absolutely.
recruit. So
Well, I'm gonna say this. What she says is, if you can, please make sure that you and the wife Terry hook up because I think that'll be a here. You doing a whole hour and a half of you, your history, your beautiful wife and your family, because it is definitely something that many people want to hear, and really mean that. I don't want to, if I can say that, I think it's the first time I ever said this. I don't want y'all to talk about it. I need y'all to make it happen because your history is something that's and your
and it wasn't
motivation.
always football.
Say again.
And it wasn't
Our
always
history wasn't always football.
And that's what I mean. I mean, just by just now talking to you and hearing you and the wordings that you use, it just tells me that spirit is in you, that godliness is in you, and
Thanks, B.
people can learn something from that. I really mean that. So I hope y'all hook it up because usually when she does it one-on-one, I'm not here. It's because I'm actually listening to the show because the show is about the person.
Correct. I got you. Well, like I said, I love sharing the story, and I will say this, Dawn, I've been married to her for 31 years.
love
So
it.
we've been
Congratulations.
together for 33. So she's been on the journey as I changed the whole entire trajectory of my life. You know what I mean? From going into the business professional world into coaching and the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of it, not knowing sometimes if you're going to have a job or when you lose a
Oh
job,
yeah,
the coach
absolutely.
gets let go. It's been a roller coaster and she's been holding it down. So I really appreciate it. And Alvin, I really appreciate you too, man. I really do appreciate your comments. And he's trying to bait me up so I can do it. I know that's what he's doing. See, he's sitting those nice things down. He's gonna sit here and type something crazy, but he's baiting me so I can make sure I do it. But I will do it though for sure. And I just definitely. I mean, you guys are peeps now. You know what I mean? So it's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I got to order. Well, she'll order it. I'm requesting that. I got to get me, Jackson State hat so I can walk around because I'm just saying. I mean, but real talk. We've been fans.
Say less.
I mean, not because Dion was there. Dion caught our attention. We're not gonna kid that.
Absolutely, and that's what it was designed to do. Everything happened the way it's supposed to. How things flowed and how things happened. It happened the way it was supposed to. Because I was here prior to Dion coming.
Yeah,
actually, I got fired on that staff when Dion came down.
When Dion came in, yeah.
So you'll hear the whole story.
Steve was on that staff too, right?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
So that's where we make.
That's why I want to bring you back because we got to hear the whole story. We got to hear the story.
We got to hear Paul Harvey, the rest of the story.
Well, you'll get
Coach,
to
we
hear
can
it
be here
all.
all. We can be here all day. I should have went on ahead and just booked you all
Oh,
night.
Coach B is something else.
He's something else. Oh my
I
God.
know you. I know Dawn got her hands full. I know you got yours full.
I do. You can tell, right? I got my hands full.
Hey, you know what I hear?
No idea.
You know I hear all the time. You play too much.
Right. Hey, whenever Dawn calls me by my last name, that's when it's time for me to shut it down. She'll just
All
say,
right.
yeah, that's it. She won't call me Eric. She won't call me nothing else. Just be Gal.
It's time to shut it down.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, Don ain't never played though.
I know.
Ever.
She's all that you talking about. Hey, coach, how you doing? You early? Yeah, you know why? everything she do. Hey, that lady is on point for everything.
Don is not getting ready to play.
I'm kind of falling through to it. So yeah, I have to fall.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, but then everything that we do here has to be on time. You know what I mean? It's always
absolutely.
You know,
always.
on time is early, like 10 minutes early.
Absolutely, and that's how he is. He's the same. He's the same way.
Right. We set a meeting at 8:00. You set this virtual at 8:00. We actually starting at 7:50. Basically, that's what we're telling.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So I have a cousin that's Sam, as a graduate of Alabama State. He says, "Congratulations, Swag."
Yeah, Sam, you need to know Alabama State was a tough environment to play in, and their defense really turned it up a notch on us too. So it was they did some really great things, and I was impressed with their defensive play more so against us than any other opponent that they played. So yeah,
that's good stuff. I have my Uncle Dale is on here. My Uncle Dale played at Alabama State, and then we got a good friend of Big Lunch played at Alabama State. Yeah, that's good stuff. I got so many questions, and I'm gonna ask this last question. And then we're done.
Because if you read the book to them, they won't read it.
No, they'll come back.
That was okay. Good.
This is the question I have.
The book, they won't read it. Okay,
Coach.
That was funny.
Yes.
How many players are in the portal right now?
From our team?
No, period.
Oh, period. I think it's maybe about 5,000.
It was 7,000 last week.
7,000. So yeah, it's probably we definitely will have to talk about that because a lot of them think it's a landing spot, and it's actually
and it's not.
It's a black hole.
Yes,
they're going to be in a time warp. Only a few make it out of there, but there's some that will sit in there for year after year or 2 years, and then
they never make it out.
They fizzle out because their clock is still running. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
And that's been my biggest problem, that when you drive down the street and you look at somebody's yard and that grass looks green, right. And then if you have to mow it, there's a lot of rocks in that grass.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's the biggest thing, is because the portal to me, it's been good, but it's not developing future talent in a program. It's a moment fix.
Correct.
And that's my biggest problem with the portal, because you can say, oh, we're going to have this and this coming up. And
then you got to start all over.
Then you got to start all over, because now the portal reopens after spring practice.
And that is the absolute truth. You think you have one roster, and then that roster is going to flip twice before the season will start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they flip again because a kid may say, well, I don't even want to play. And then he just, resigns himself to not even playing, even and when it comes into the summer, going into, fall play. So I like it and I don't like it. There was a purpose. I think the purpose has been abused and then exacerbated to its biggest form, which is right now. And then with the NIL stuff, that just compounds the whole problem.
Woo!
That's
a whole nother issue.
Some of the what they're asking for is absolutely
okay.
Outrageous.
But hold it. But
we can talk about that all day.
Okay, but in my mind, coach, you can ask for anything you want to. I mean, I say this, and I don't mean to be this or that, but this is the United States. You can ask.
Right.
Okay, I can ask you to marry me. That don't necessarily mean you're gonna say yes, but you did.
Yes.
Okay. And so if people are asking, sometimes you gotta say no to stop this whirlwind in NIL. It's ridiculous. I mean, play the game and appreciate the game and go from there. And sometimes NIL, like you said, is pros and cons. Is, sometimes it's not a fit, like any other thing. It's not a fit. Job, marriage, relationships, whatever. It's not a fit. But with that said, now it's wide open. And I'm sorry, you yelled at me the third week of practice, and now I'm leaving.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But we didn't, the whole thing wasn't thought about when a kid gets an NIL deal, because I think there's something that should be tied into, because they don't account for anymore the APR, for the graduation rate.
Yes.
And then I don't think, which it should increase, because it should force players to stay in college longer, which a lot of them are staying longer these days. Some are having 6, 7 years.
That's a whole nother conversation.
So therefore, I think the NFL should now play a role in, hey, if you're not graduated, then you need to go back to school and graduate, because you were getting this NIL money and you were playing for 6 years. Why haven't you achieved a degree? Which the degree percentage, the PTD, does have to follow those young men every single time they transfer. But every time you transfer, not every university,
not every credit is going to transfer
your credit. So how are you maintaining, your graduation, percentage towards degree PTD? How are you maintaining that? Or are people overlooking that and just accepting sometimes those classes that they normally wouldn't accept? So it's a whole mess that I think
it's definitely a whole mess, because the whole, transferring every year. I mean, what is the mindset of a coach for accepting a transfer? He's in his 4th year and he's already been at 3 schools.
I don't get that.
I don't get that, Coach.
Well, it still goes into your whole recruiting process and what you want for your room and what you want on your team. I think we have here one of the best cultures that I've been associated with, from a standpoint of collectively all the players doing the right thing, doing what they're supposed to do, doing what we ask on a consistent basis. So you're still looking for those core value things from that kid. But at the same time, you know what? If he's not in compliance, just as quick as you got him, you can boot him. You used to be, Coach, you wasn't always able to do that.
Okay.
Now it's like, look, you're not fit, and you can go. See you, because that scholarship right now, that, that letter of intent, a binding agreement between athlete and the school, that's no longer. That thing is based on, now what have you done or what can you do? And that's player, coach, player. What have you done for me lately? Or what can you do for me? So either one can say, hey, to the other,
and I'm out, or you're out.
But that part, if you will, the way you worded it, Coach, I like, because that gives equal power on both sides.
It does.
Because back in the day when I played, we had no power. Okay, again, both of y'all. See what I'm saying, Coach? See, you're wrong.
I'm in agreement with you, Coach.
You can't laugh first and be in agreement with me.
What was it even called back in your day? Was it even called a letter of intent?
You can't laugh. Where's your wife?
I'm pretty sure she's on.
I'm just going to the top. I mean, Coach went like this.
Was it called letter of intent?
Yeah.
What was it called back then?
It was called playing football.
But you had to sign.
At least in my day, we got the tackle. So, Because in this day and age, you can't tackle. You got to
Right.
route and lay down.
Correct.
Route, lay
Correct.
down.
There is.
You know,
And we were talking, we talked about that as a staff today. we would somehow, even just the game we came out of, if we kind of knew you weren't the best tackler, we didn't block you. So we changed our blocking scheme based on letting you know who we're going to block based on, was this guy a good blocker or was he not?
Right.
Hey, I just got a message from the president.
I'm seeing the same message.
Thank you, ma'am. Because they're trying. Because did he not laugh first and you laugh first?
She laughed. I laughed because she laughed. I didn't listen. I wasn't laughing because
I'm looking at you.
I'm not sure if I laughed because you said back in my. But you know what? You prefaced it, yo. It was your fault. You did that. You said back in my. You the one put it. You put yourself way away from us.
Right.
Because you said back in my day. So you put yourself.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, and my wife heard me say he's still laughing. My wife heard me say that. There's a difference between a $500 hour attorney and a 5,000 hour attorney. Both of y'all found a loophole and you used it. That was good.
But as soon as you said back in my day, that automatically sent red flags to her. So she sent me the vibes, and I was like, I'm trying not to laugh at this. I'm not getting
the vibe through the computer.
But yeah, I wanted to get back to Alex asked the question. He said, "How relevant or irrelevant is the
NCAA?" Yes, that was a good question.
Good, very good question.
Yes,
very good question.
Yes,
they're relevant.
They're not.
They're relevant for what they want.
Yes,
to achieve.
But that's
for whatever agenda they want to continue to be relevant. They're relevant for whatever agenda they want to stay relevant for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But that's always been the NCAA. Yes. Because you couldn't understand their punishment or their non-punishment on programs
rules or what they do or how they do it. And it's like you wipe your hands with something and you're done. And then you want to step in and address these issues. Then you don't hear from them at all. But then we have all these rules and parameters for this. And if somebody barks against it, then you go and change them. It's ever evolving. That's what NCAA is.
Yes. And then they set on their pedestal because they can. And it's sort of like that organization, OSHA, who's amazing, who does a great job. But there's nobody that can hold them accountable.
Correct.
It's their rules, their way. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing on either one. You need them both, I think, because you got to have somebody on the outside that's not in. And but like you just said, and being redundant on your wording is they choose which one is more important than the other. And that's based on their opinion.
Right.
Not
and adding to that, for Alvin, not to cut you off, Cisco,
no, you didn't.
But the thing is, this is why the Power Four, or before the Power Four, when it was Power Five, they want to create their own league. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be the Power Two.
The SEC was trying to create their own league to say, hey, we're not a part of that.
Yeah.
We're going to be our own entity. And if they wanted to, it could be done just like that.
Well, see, I always think that the Big Ten and the SEC will do it. I don't see four. I don't see the other two having that much power. But I do see the Big Ten because the SEC, because who they're getting in their conferences makes no sense. Especially the Big Ten. You went out to the West Coast teams. So what are you doing? You're marketing broad.
Well, same thing. ACC.
ACC did. I'm sorry, I stand corrected.
They did the same thing. They're both, but it's.
Because the more you get the map of the United States on your side. If you stay in one area, it's controllable. But if you go beyond that, and that's what they're doing, and you are 100% correct that they could do it tomorrow and say, we're done. We're going to group, do our own thing, and nothing will change. And it's going to take a lot of money out of certain people's pockets.
Absolutely. That is true. Because you'd be amazed to how much is actually generated for them if you go and just do your homework a little bit.
But. When I saw the revenue share and what they're going to be getting, that gives you an idea, because the revenue share is 20%. I think it's only 20%, and it's still like a whole big pot of money.
Right.
So yeah, I just can't imagine. Coach, we can be here all day. We'll bring you back.
We'll bring you back. Hey,
I'd love to come back.
We'll do a deep dive. We'll do a deep dive on just you. We won't just talk football. We'll just talk about you.
Oh, we deep dive. Okay.
We'll do a deep dive. Yeah.
That'd be great. I love to have it, and I'd love to see it and be a part of it. And I think this platform that you guys are doing is really great. When I first saw it, when Crystal sent it to me, hits and heels, I was like,
what?
That's about as creative as marketing as I've seen in a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because then it puts your business cap on.
I started it with it was me and another female, but then she got her dream job, and then she wasn't able to stay as my host. And so I just kind of kept it up, and I thought it was a great opportunity for me, to maybe, because I also coach, you don't know this, but I also coached a women's tackle football team. And so of course they weren't getting a lot of press.
What team do you coach for?
The Derby City Dynamite.
Out of Louisville.
Have y'all played the Mississippi Panthers?
No. They're in a different league.
Okay, I go and watch. I support them. I went to about 4 or 5 games, and then we had them come over to our clinic. We did a clinic and had a women's clinic. We had women.
See, that's what we're a Kentucky State's coach. That's what he wants to do. He wants to do a girls' flag, and we're going to bring my girls over, and they're gonna run the clinic.
Our girls won the championship. Well,
yeah, they did. Yes.
You know what? Let me tell you. When I went to one game, and the head coach TC Taylor turned me on to it, he's like, "Look, you need to go watch them play." So I went over and watched them play one time, and I was like, "You didn't know if it was." I'm like, they're actually running plays.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God. Let him tell you the first time I took him to practice.
Like there's a female that was at a linebacker position.
Yes.
Was the proper.
Hey, Coach, we've been saying we're gonna let you go, but I gotta tell this story.
Okay.
I'm sitting in the car. First of all, it takes them to make us do stuff we don't want to do.
Right.
So she's like, "I'm tired. Can you drive me to Louisville?" Sure. And I get in the car, drive to Louisville, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun." So I'm sitting in the car. They get started. They have this linebacker. First of all, she is down low, like you're supposed to be.
Correct.
She is reading her keys. That guard blocked down. She took off. Bam! I went. And all of a sudden, I'm trying to still be cool. And I walk out of the car, and I go up to her, I look at her, and then all of a sudden she goes, "Hey, Coach," with a very smooth little voice. I was expecting to hear Dick Buckus.
Correct.
I was expecting, and I got, "Hey, Coach." That was not what I was expecting.
And I told my wife this, so I can say this. There was a receiver that we had on the team. She took her helmet off. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's beautiful." Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
I said, TC. I said, hey, I was like, I'm going TC on the bus with me so he can get in trouble. I said, TC, did you see how he said, man, I know the whole team? He didn't say it.
Yes. Hey, my wife was standing there too, coach. And what was the name of the coach?
Nicole.
And I went, damn, she's pretty.
You know what I'm saying?
And she's done.
I was saying the same exact thing, man. I was impressed. I was like, wow, that looks like actual football game. So then the next game, I took videos and I sent it to my son. He said, Dad, who's that playing? What high school team or college team is that? I said, those are women. Mm-hmm. So he went back. I said, go back and replay that play again. He said, you wouldn't even know. I said, I know. I was that impressed when I saw it.
The intensity,
the same way. Yes.
The intensity that they have, the passion they have, and then what people forget when they come and watch them, it's not the NFL, it's not high school, college. These ladies have jobs.
Exactly. They have every day. They got little kids running around over there just as bad as the Indians. And it's like, hey, don't tell your mama.
They out there, check, bark. Go over and sit down and feed your sister.
I think the biggest thing that a lot of people didn't realize was that my center was 50 years old.
50? Oh my 51. God, I couldn't imagine playing.
51.
Nah, I'm with you. 51. Somebody says all the time, you look good for your age. I said, first of all, ain't no 18-year-old gonna hit me.
Yeah, I get recruits all the time. So, hey, coach, you can still play, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I can play all right. Play on the sideline. Look at you. That's what I'm gonna
get the pregame meal. That's pretty good.
Right. Hey, you look like you still got a few plays in you. I don't have one.
She'll tell you. I'm gonna eat that pregame meal. They go, where that guy go? That's all I'm eating.
Right. I'm gonna eat the pregame meal. That's all I'm gonna partake in. Anything else? Nah, man, I'm okay.
I'm good.
My days are done. I played, been there, done that. I'm not doing it no more. No, sir.
Not doing it no more.
Well, we'll get you back on. Don says thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we appreciate you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Coach.
And
make sure y'all have safe holidays and happy holidays. And
absolutely.
You too.
I'll see Dawn this weekend, so I'm going.
Okay, good. Hug her for me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Good stuff, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you.
All right. God bless you.
You too.
All right.
That was good stuff.
That was good. All right.
That was good stuff.
But I guess before we get off, we got to talk a little bit about something else, don't we?
Oh, Coach.
Oh, Coach.
Why does not Brock Purdy? Is this his name, Brock Purdy? Think he deserves $60 million?
It's because that's the market.
Is he on that level as everybody else?
He's none of them.
Mahomes.
Time out, babe. None of them on that level. But when you market a person and you put them up there, that's the standard NFL. That's the standard of quarterback salaries. Okay, so he's saying, this is what I did. I've taken you to this, and this, and I've done this, and that. So based on that, there's quarterbacks that, what's the Phillies quarterback? Philadelphia Eagles quarterback?
Jalen Hurts.
No, before him. I can't forget the name. That won the Super Bowl. But listen what I'm saying now. Okay. They won the Super Bowl and was the backup who got hurt. They're making almost $45 million.
As the backup?
As a starter, backup, BBD, boys to man. And that's the market because they allowed the market to get that high. Okay. I mean, think about it. What did I tell you when Jimmy G
Garoppolo
was my 49ers? And remember, this is a 49er guy. And I came up to you and I said, 33 million? Brother, ain't no worth no 33 million. And he is on my team. But my point is, if the market goes there, he's absolutely right. He's going to ask for 60. He's going to get 55. Mm-hmm. The 49ers went to, at one time, they had almost $100 million of salary on the injury reserve list. Mm-hmm. And that's why people ain't dogging the 49ers for not winning this year, because they had so many injuries.
Yeah.
But next year, we can't sign everybody because Brock is going to get paid.
Right.
And then what that said is we're going to be 500 next year, barely winning because we're going to lose a lot of players, just like when Coach that's with San Diego Chargers was with Harbaugh. When he left, then all the salaries, people started getting moved to other teams because of money.
Yeah.
And the 49ers are in that predicament. But I don't blame him. I would ask for $6 million too. I've taken you to the Super Bowl. I've taken you to playoff games. I've done this. I've done
when I had to help the team.
When I had to help the team.
Okay.
But the whole key to that team is McCaffrey, without a doubt.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's the bad.
Okay, Coach Bryant.
Coach Bryant.
Coach Bryant.
I can't believe Coach cracked on me.
He cracked on me.
He cracked on me.
There is a new ruling. For junior college players.
JUCOs.
The 2 years, you could play 1 year or 2 year, you still get 4 years in NCAA.
I think that's what they're going to. You got players that's 28 because people don't care. I mean, you got
people don't care.
I mean, the people that make that decision don't care.
Because it ain't their kids being hit by
because here's the difference
by a grown man.
But no, okay, the guys that can play are moving on to the NFL. The guys that's okay is going to stay in college as long as they can. Guys that can play ain't staying in college to take a chance of getting hurt. That's a fact. They're going to move on to the NFL, get their contract. If something happens, they're going to get paid. Okay. The guys that saying, okay, I'm a very good college player. Like I say this, and I don't mean negative, and they may have played a few years in the NBA. I cannot remember if they did or did not. Mm-hmm. But one of the best teams that we had at the University of Kentucky in basketball was Feldhouse, Pelfrey, Woods, Farmer, and with Mashburn, who was a younger one. Mm-hmm. They were college players. They were very, very superstar college players. Right. And they may have went off to NBA for a few years. I can't recall if they did or not, but it's not taken away from their talent, but they shine more in college than they did in the NBA. So these kids are saying, I'm shining more in college than I would in the NFL. So why not stay if they're going to allow me to stay? Mm-hmm. It's so the same going back to your question on Purdy. Okay. He said 60 million. He can request it. Somebody's got to say no once in a while.
Somebody got to say no.
I mean, you're 24, 25. When I was 24, 25, 26, I was at the strongest of my life. Yeah. You know, everything, testosterone, everything's kicked in. Mm-hmm. And I'm lifting, I'm running, I'm smarter, I'm more wiser. I'm not ripping and running anymore because I'm not hanging out. I would have been an unbelievable college player.
Yeah, at 26.
At 26?
Yeah. Absolutely. I like the whole junior college. I think I like it. But like I said, if they're gonna let them get away with it, but that's gonna change the recruiting because now you got kids that have experience. I wouldn't want to go to junior. If I'm a kid in high school, I don't want to get redshirt. I would rather go to junior college prep.
Well, that goes to 2024, Coach. The mindset of young people in this day and age, and you know I say this all the time. I don't do a comparison of my age, your age, their age. They live in a different world. Yeah. And people that's older got to stop asking them to live in the past world. Mm-hmm. They can't relate to it. Everybody hear me. They can't. Yeah. And what's the definition I use is Manhattan. Yes. If you have never been in Manhattan, I can't describe Manhattan to you. That's this generation. They cannot relate to our generation. So I tell people, stop doing that. They have no idea what you're talking about. Ty Bryant cannot just understand my generation. At all. And there's no verbal word I can tell him because everything back then doesn't exist anymore. theoretically, and they're not going to Google it to find out
And they're not going to Google it.
because they don't care, and I don't blame them. I don't blame. Hey, real quickly, I know you about to roll out of here, but let's real quick. University of Kentucky football. A lot of
Well, Barryon Brown is going to LSU.
LSU stayed in the SEC.
Jordan Dingle went to South Carolina.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said his name.
Bowling Green Dingle.
BG Perk. Dingle.
Dingle.
He's a purple. He's a purple.
Mhm.
The Bowling Green Purple winning back-to-back state championships.
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah.
They did win.
They did win back-to-back state championship.
That's right.
And guess what? Sayre is the only
Yes.
school out of Lexington that won a state championship.
Our
And
boy.
we also have the player of the year for 1A and coach of the year.
Yes. And Coach Penn, I was blessed to talk to him for, I think we chopped it up for an hour. I was so proud of him. And I know he's going to be on the Cutler show,
Okay.
Alan Cutler show, and he deserved it. And hopefully we can get him on here
Absolutely.
if it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because he is,
He's got a great story.
guys, he's a great story. His kids and his lovely wife, and I'm just saying, if you know him, give him his props because he's a great guy. And this is an 11-year NFL person, and you wouldn't realize that because he's so humble and appreciative of his blessings. And Chad Pendleton, we're proud of you.
Dane Key visited Georgia, but the rumor has it that he committed, but as
He
of
did
today,
not
he hadn't
commit.
committed
Yes,
yet.
thank you. Let me just say this to everybody that's hearing this. Dane Key did not commit to Georgia. That doesn't mean he ain't going. But as of this time at 10:18
Are you sure?
PM.
Because that was a couple hours ago.
what you talking about? He told me,
I know.
okay, if he changed his mind, he would text me.
Oh, okay.
Because he ain't just an average bird. He's like a son.
He's nephew.
He's nephew. Come on now. So with that said is I just want to clarify that, and I, communicated with him that he did not commit to Georgia. And again, it doesn't mean he won't. It just means that this time he did not. It came back. He visited because he's talented. And
He's
I'm gonna miss him.
We're gonna miss him.
And I'm gonna miss his being his dad every Saturday too.
Yeah.
No matter what the temperature, wearing shorts.
Beautiful mama.
Wearing shorts. And
It's bringing me to tears that my baby leaving us.
but he's doing what I think is best.
What's best for him.
And there's no doubt about it. And
he deserves to go someplace where a quarterback's gonna get him the ball.
where he felt, yes, there's no question, because I say that, and we say that we're a fan. We're not just
fans.
family, if you will.
Mhm.
We're a fan, and
I can't wait to see who he's gonna play for in the NFL.
well, I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
I
next
hope he
year.
goes to the same team as his brother, where he's on the offensive side and his brother's on the defensive side. Wouldn't that be so cool?
And I was fortunate to coach his brother at Bryant Station High School.
Wouldn't that be so cool? That would be so cool.
And what about speaking of Bryant Station?
Oh my God. So do y'all know that Coach Hawkins has resigned from Bryant Station and is now the head coach of Henry Clay High School? What do you think about that, Coach Bryant?
I was surprised
I was too.
because he had it rolling there.
I thought he was doing a great job at the station.
Yeah, and he had his foot planted, and obviously it's something that we don't know
about it.
what's going through. I do know, regardless, whatever, he's a blessing of our God. He's here, and I know he's got a surgery coming up, and
He and both Coach McPeak. Both
McPeek
of them
was today.
was today.
Yeah,
and then his is coming up.
His is coming
So
up.
prayers to both coaches.
Yes, because those are
They're our guys.
they're our guys,
Yeah.
and we want them healthy and able. But going to Henry Clay, he did a very good job, I thought, of bringing in former, because I'm into that, because that's Bowling Green High.
We're totally into that. Yes.
Because Bowling Green High does that.
Yes.
And he had a lot of former Bryant Station players. I wonder if he's going to get former Henry
Clay.
Clay, who's coaching out in somewhere back at Henry Clay. So I wish him well. Wish him blessings on his surgery. And but that was surprising.
That was surprising.
That was surprising.
That was surprising.
You know, so
it'll be interesting to see who they name as the new head coach there.
yeah. But also on your show, we're gonna have basketball coming. We're gonna have some coaches. They had to play tonight, and that is we were communicating with 2 coaches to come on to talk about the season. But they had a basketball game tonight and wasn't able to come on this Wednesday. So we're gonna talk a little basketball because that's her game. You know, even though she couldn't handle me one-on-one, but I'm just saying you could. Go ahead.
So I think in Louisville, what is it, the Battle of the Bluegrass or something? Some big old tournament is going on right now. Bryant Station, I think, was playing at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they play 9 p.m.
Right now.
Right now, and they got classes tomorrow. While y'all setting that time.
Right. Yeah, Chad played with Randy Moss, and Randy had a cancer scare, and I hope he gets better.
Some with his eyes, right?
Well, he had a liver cancer, and so it caused jaundice.
It's called jaundice.
Causes your eyes to turn yellow.
Yeah.
Because when you have issues with your liver. Yeah. So
we wish him well, and Randy Moss, one of the best players to ever play in the NFL. One of either article, how you say it? I'm arguing. What's the word? One of the top 3 best receivers of all times.
Okay.
What's the word?
One of the best 3.
No, it was another word. I was trying to be intelligent.
Oh, okay.
Pick it up.
My bad. I missed that one.
Yeah, you missed that, but made me look bad.
My bad. Sorry, babe. I always got your back.
Always. So, wish him well on that. But I don't know. It's going to be fascinating who takes over at Bryant Station High School.
Yeah.
I don't know if the stable is there or not. Same as Frederick Douglass this year. They lost a lot of players, a lot of key players, and which I think is the key player is the first question I always ask, is your center returning?
Yeah.
Because whoever
and who's gonna be your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean quarterback is huge, but having an offensive line is the key. And that's been the biggest thing back at University of Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah, your line is the key. And they have to work together because that was always the biggest thing with offensive line. But with the portal, going back to that, you got interchangeable. Do they read off of each other? I mean, he could be an All-American, but is he feeding off of the tackle or the guard or the center? And I think that is a huge thing. So I just wonder what Bryant Station's stable is looking like.
I would like to see, somebody like a Cornell Burbridge as the head.
I wonder if Bird would consider that, only because of his age, and only because his son is blossoming at Lexington Christian. And I remember he was the tight hanging out on the field, and would he even consider? Because that's something that I considered. I even considered about applying, and I'm throwing it out there. Yes, you did, and because I mean, it's just something about those babies at Bryant Station, coaching them, and it's like being at Crawford. It's not I don't know. It's just they're just fun. They're just fun, and if you got to come correct. You got to come correct, or they're gonna tell you about yourself. They're gonna tell you about yourself. If you ain't real, they're gonna tell you about yourself in a minute.
I agree.
And the funniest thing is about the funniest thing is what do you agree about what?
That's a good one too, JT Haskins.
Yeah, and
I would be shocked if JT doesn't apply.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about is getting the coaching staff around you. And I really feel like, I'm not promoting myself. Please don't take it that way. But if that's something that you and I sit down and talk about and I apply for it, when it opens up on Friday, is because that's the key.
Who's gonna be on your staff?
Because you want someone and I, the first person I would, if I applied and he doesn't, the first person I'll ask is Cornell Burbridge come with me.
Yes.
And some people might look at that wrong.
Right.
But Coach Burbridge can coach.
He can coach.
And he motivates kids. And all you got to do is let him do him. Yeah, let him do him. Let him do him because
they're gonna get cussed out. But let him do
but see, here's
good, and I love
no. But here's the thing is, let me say this for everybody to hear this.
I love him.
The thing about him is his players swear by him.
Yes.
Okay, people hear him saying certain things.
Yeah,
but the difference is him and I coach the same. I just don't cuss.
Yeah. The same way.
We're the same way. It's about your baby's playing for you. You're walking down the street and coaches who is hearing this moment, if you like it or not, does your former players come up embrace you?
Yeah.
They come up embracing me.
Yeah.
They embrace me.
Absolutely.
They embrace Cornell Burbridge, guys. Yes. I'm telling you. Coach Burbridge, oh my God, Coach Burbridge. Yes. And that means he's doing the right thing because he's teaching them not just sports, he's teaching them life. And some
I think
people,
that's the biggest lessons too is, that I think people take for granted about football are the right coaches, men that are fathers that are teaching young men to be men. And you guys are great examples of great men.
Well, I said this to someone at a meeting earlier this week, and I said to someone, my ultimate goal is to win a championship at Crawford or have my kids play for the high school. Which one do I care more about?
The kids playing at the high school and stuff.
Playing at the high school.
And playing and getting to the next level.
And getting to the next level.
I'm going to tell you right now, because this was the first year, was it last year, the first year where we had our kids that signed to play school. We got one that signed at EKU. I mean, I thought that was the ultimate. When our babies are committing to play ball in college.
Yeah, and people think it's about Crawford. Mm-hmm. No.
It's about setting them up to get to the next level.
And our kids will sit there and tell you, my job is not to coach middle school. My job is to get them ready for high school.
Yes.
And when the coaches, they end up getting them, and that was, Coach McPeak, again, blessing on your surgery today, and Coach Gay, who was at Henry Clay before he stepped down. That was only my goal, is for those coaches walking with me and say, I got your kid. He's doing this. He already knew this. And I was like, wow. But we finished second in middle school. We finished third or fourth in middle school.
Yeah.
I think I won.
Absolutely.
I think I won.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a head coach. Mm-hmm. And like I said, as our record there is very good, 44-11. So
okay. So you at the head coach, Coach Burbridge at the OC, and JT Hackins at DC.
Well, here's the thing is, but we wouldn't get Burb because Burb's
son is at
I think it'd be a junior at Lexington Christian, and I can tell you, my boy, like the head coach at Lexington Christian, be like, Coach Bryant, stop all that talk.
It's not going to let Coach Burbridge leave him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just knocked something off.
I don't know. Did you?
No. Did it get darker?
I don't know. It was dark today. I'm missing one of the light. I think the light on that side, I was missing it.
This was an on.
Yeah, that one was no.
All righty.
Well, you said furthermore. You got a coach on your right, Coach Terri.
Oh yeah, she would definitely. If I apply for the Bryant Station job, and that doesn't mean I'll get it, but if I apply for the Bryant Station job, I would definitely one, because I keep telling people she's not a team mom. She does team mom stuff, but she can coach. And she couldn't. I mean, I'm about winning, and I'm about developing young people. And every coach that would come with me would be that. Because right now, my objective is to return at Crawford and continue to do what we've been doing for 6 years.
Right. That's it. Did we cover everything today? Let's see.
Well, we had your man on, Mr. Comedian, Mr. Back in the Day.
It was good to have Coach Gallen on.
It was.
I'm so excited about Jackson State and winning the HBCU national championship. That was just so huge for that program. I think just getting out of Coach Sanders.
I never thought he was under shadow. Because Sanders, because here's what I thought, Coach.
You get fired and then they bring you back. I thought that was so
okay. That head coach brought you back, and it wasn't okay. The coaches that left Jackson State wasn't because they couldn't coach. Sanders wanted who he wanted.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so that's what people got to understand. That's totally different. Because if I take over a program,
you want who you want.
I want who I want.
And who you
if
trust,
I have choices.
If you don't know the coaches,
if you don't know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it proved they can coach. They were in a ring. And with all due respect to Primetime, he didn't get a ring.
He didn't.
They got a ring.
They lost in the championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna watching that. So anyway, I always walk away, let her close her show.
Ain't nothing to close. We good.
Well, I'm just saying. I come. Hold up. Let me slide this way. Okay, because you just showing.
Look how he disrespected my coach with that San Francisco 49 and stuff. Bang bang, not a game.
Thank you. Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right.
Oh, did you know that there were 3 teams that are still undefeated in basketball, and they're all 3 in the SEC?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Hey, they played 50 games.
Let's go SEC. Oh, Asia Wilson won a Nike Player of the Year. No, she got Nike. No, she got Sports Illustrated Player of the Year, and Nike extended her for 6 years.
What's my man from Boyle County? He was named Mr. Kentucky.
Quantavious.
He's coming to the University of Kentucky.
He won everything. He won.
He's outstanding.
Yeah, he won Player of the Year.
And what a smile.
Yeah.
I saw him and his mom and his dad. I saw a picture, and he's just, oh my God. He still will, because, Quisenberry, yes. He's still, he's not going to age very much. So when he does turn 21, he's going to need 2 IDs to get in the club. He's got a very baby face. I've never seen his face.
Yeah, because he's always got a helmet on.
He's always got a helmet on, or it's after a game and he's flustered. I saw him when he was cleaned up, looking nice, getting his award, and congratulations to him and with that, and he's amazing young man.
Oh, what are your thoughts on old man Bill Belichick becoming the new head coach for North Carolina Tar Heels football?
It's not Deion, and Deion gave him his props. I mean, I got to see his coaching staff, because Mr. Zombie ain't gonna motivate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not gonna relate to these kids.
Okay,
there's no freaking way.
You can go. This is a microwave area.
Yes, they need it right now.
No, not just need it right now. You got to pop it up a little bit.
Yes.
So I don't know how he was on the football field, but his demeanor made it look like that he had no emotion.
Just dry. No emotion. Yeah.
And these are young people. These are not NFL guys, because Deion cannot be an NFL coach and stay the way he is. He has to change, because NFL players are looking at you and they're grown men going home to their family. They don't need you to be their cheerleader.
Right.
They need you to tell them what to do. And what's your boy? Your partner, your best friend, one of your best friends, Indianapolis Colts, Kansas State, Detroit.
Coach Prince.
Coach, you got to say his first name.
Coach Ron Prince.
Thank you very much. I already know his name, but I need you to say it. Okay. Coach Prince said it best. We sat in this house. When you're an NFL coach, your job is to tell them what they're doing, what the other team is doing. You ain't going, come on, because you see them very laid back, very chill. That's Belichick. So my statement is, who is going to be his assistant coach, and who's going to be Flavor?
Right.
Who's going to be the hype
man?
Who's going to be the hype man?
Yeah, to be able to relate to the players.
Who's going to be the hype man?
Yeah.
Because if this personality the way he is, I'm dozing off in the meetings. I'm just saying, because these are young, impressionable kids. Absolutely. Young people. I can call them kids because I'm
right. So I think he's setting his son up to succeed him, and he'll be there a year and he'll be done.
I never, I've heard somebody else say that, Coach, and here's the problem with that. What is his son's last name?
Belichick.
You don't need to set him up.
Well,
that's his. that's like true. The Schulers and
that's true, and the Lombardi.
It don't matter that last name.
Even your head coach, for the 49ers. What's his name? His dad was a head coach. What the heck is his name?
The head coach now? Shanahan.
Shanahan, yeah.
Yes.
You already got your name precedes you.
Because
of the legacy of your name and who your dad is. So so it's the same thing with him.
I think people said that, but maybe be quicker. But what's his last name?
Right.
If he showed up in Lexington and applied for
whatever,
applied for the Bryant Station job, he wouldn't get it.
He would get it. If he came to Lexington and applied for Bryant Station, they'll be like, "Your last name is Belichick."
You got it.
You got it.
Come on. Now.
Oh, what are your thoughts on Vince Morrow being approached by Bill Belichick?
That's respect.
Definitely respect.
That's respect.
He is a great recruiter.
And the thing about Coach Morrow is his reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
And I just wish his son, who's on UK staff, will start motivating himself to move up from where he's at, because you've got that in you. Your dad has done this and your dad's done that. And I just think that, your son.
Yes.
Okay. And use it. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's no different than his stepsons. Use it, because that's marketing.
Yeah.
That's what you do. I'm sorry. In my mind, that's what you do. If you have an opportunity to promote your child, just like, let me go political real fast. Okay. And then
political stuff on my page.
Okay.
Let's go.
Everybody was whining about the president pardoning his son. I'm sorry.
I'm pardoning my son.
I'm pardoning my son. Okay, it ain't like his son, using a negative term, and I apologize, but I got to make my point with it. Okay. Rape, still, drug selling to kids, or something like that. He did what a lot of people do, is he try to make extra money.
Yeah.
Okay, and so there are certain crimes I have no understanding, and that is abuse to kids, women, you know what I'm saying, in that mindset. Yeah. I have no understanding, but what his son did, I would do if that was my son, and before I get it, I'm like, my son. Yeah. I wouldn't even question it in the beginning.
Right. As soon as I got in office, he'd have been part.
He'd been part. I'm sorry. And everybody going, hey, you can do it all you want to. But that's your son, your daughter, I would do the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Because blood is thicker than water.
Facts.
And that matter. I'm sorry. Facts. And it ain't like there's certain crimes it make you go, can't do nothing for you, man. Can't do nothing for you, man. But in this case, I felt like that was the right thing.
Oh,
it's the same thing.
Just remind me. How about Michael Vick is the new
yes
head coach of I don't know, one of them, another HBCU.
Yes. How are you not gonna bring up something you cannot know what it is? The bad part is I don't either. I forget.
Not about those.
It's not about those.
It's not about those. I forgot. Mr. Brown, where's Coach Michael Vick coaching at?
Just got the new head job. I just read it.
What's going on?
Oops, sorry.
Friend?
Okay, when?
I should have wrote that down too, because that should have been on my script. You know, I don't never have script.
And so hopefully, I was hoping it would pop up.
I probably got it now too. Hold on, I'll pull it up.
And that's a great hire, and it's a name hire, and that we're going back to name.
We got a lot of coaches that are looking to get coaching jobs right now, and I love it. Like, and actually, Tyreek Hill made a comment today and it looked like he was saying he's ready to go coach, but I interpret it as he wanted to become a coach. But I don't know if we got any clarification on that. Meaning that he was ready to go Norfolk State.
Norfolk State, yeah.
And it's in Virginia, which is around his hometown, right? And it's an HBCU there, close to where his hometown is. And so, you know, I like these coaches that are, you know, because again, we talked about what happened with Eddie George. Eddie George just won something. It was something else. That's why I thought it was another championship, but it might have been a bowl game or something that Eddie George just won.
Right.
And a good and I'm thankful to that. Let me see what it was. Oh, I missed it.
That Eddie George went to?
He got Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And he led the Tigers to a 9-3 record, and they just won something. I don't know. Maybe it was a conference win. Maybe it was the first time winning the conference or something. I don't know. But congratulations to Coach Eddie George for winning whatever and having Tennessee State to a 9-3 record, which is absolutely fantastic. And going from there, Norfolk State. Yeah, Mr. Brown, Norfolk State. So I'm looking forward to that. So now I'm a fan of Norfolk State, and I'll be following them because I want to see how successful Michael Vick is going to be as their new head coach there. And I'm happy for Coach Eddie George at Tennessee State. Shout out to Coach TC Taylor and Coach Eric Gallen and the rest of the Jackson State Tigers for their national win of the all HBCUs. That's big time, right? And the first time ever for Jackson State. It's just huge. All right, so we got anything else?
No, we're good.
Woo! So the state of the UK has some strong concerns among the fan base. Any thoughts? Okay, so Mr. Brown, this is my take. Okay. So Kentucky has never been that team in the SEC, right? They've had a couple of years, 1 or 2 years where they've been, like when Coach Bryant played, y'all went 0-10 or something like that.
0-10-1.
0-10-1, and then the next year,
bowl game.
Y'all were in a bowl game. The next season.
Next 2 seasons.
The next 2 seasons, y'all were in a bowl game because y'all just got recognized for one of them a couple weeks ago,
84.
right? I just think that on any given year you could turn it around. But if we talk about just this season, okay, Kentucky ended at the bottom of the SEC, right? But we went to every game, and Kentucky is only a couple of plays away from beating Texas, from beating Tennessee, from beating Georgia. And had they beat Georgia early on, that changes just the mindset because the game is mental. The game is mental. And then when you lose games like South Carolina, the reason why we lost that game is because when Terri Bryant gets his interception and we don't score and we lose the momentum.
Well, getting an interception, we don't score, and that's anything on a fumble or anything.
It just changes the momentum of the game.
Right. But I said this before to a few people on the radio and off the radio is nobody came into the season thinking we was going to just win 4 games. Most people had us win 7, 8,
7, 8
9.
games, yes.
Okay. And when people was talking about Stoops, my comment was the man's earned the right to have moments. And they're moments. If this is a consistent next year, that's different. Okay. With Cal at the University of Kentucky, it was consistent. Boom, 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 boom. Like, what are you doing?
And you're getting, and with Cal, and I hate it when people would compare him with Coach Cal, because Coach Cal was getting the #1 recruiting class every year.
And that would be like Alabama or Ohio State or Georgia getting the horses that they get and finishing short.
Yeah.
Not winning the SEC tournament, not even getting in the tournament. And then not getting a chance to win a national title. Okay, but what I mean about Kentucky is when Coach Stoops got us to a point, and people can say what they want to, but got us to a point of every game we felt like we could win.
Yes.
Not that we were go, oh, let's not get blown out. He got, it doesn't matter if we won or lost. And this is how I felt. I mean, this has nothing to do with nothing. This is a fact. He and his coaching staff has flipped the mindset before every game, because people are coming to the game feeling like we got a chance.
We got a chance to win.
We got a chance. It doesn't matter who we played against. We got a chance. We got a chance. And when you are a program that doesn't get 9 to 15 5-stars and 4-stars, and we're not talking about skill guys, the running and jumping, the DBs. We're talking about the linebackers, the D-line, and the O-line. We don't get those guys, and what happens is people follow that success of that program. That's why Kentucky basketball is always going to be on top. Pope did. Pope brought in some guys and some grinders. He's already got some 4 and 5 stars coming in next year, because we are the University of Kentucky in basketball.
Right.
Alabama is Alabama. They can get, they lost 3 top.
And everybody was mad that Alabama didn't win, but they didn't deserve to get in.
Oh, I disagree.
What you mean disagree? They played 5. The 5 non-conference games were garbage, and then you lose 3 games, so you only played two games.
No, I'm see, you're not hearing me. I disagree based on who got in.
Oh, now that.
Okay,
no,
Alabama.
I agree with you with that. I do think that they need to do a better job with the strength of schedule. So like here in Kentucky, they always switch it up and they go by the RPI, which is the same thing, right? Like the strength of schedule.
Right.
And I do feel like the strength of schedule should play a difference. There's a lot of arguments on social media about, like SMU. SMU did not play not one top 25 team.
Well, okay.
Let Kentucky not play.
Hold on. Let me think.
Let Kentucky not play not one
top
25 team.
Who did Indiana play or pay $3,000 not to play this year and play some weak team? It was some good team they were scheduled to play.
And they did.
Oh, it was Louisville.
Oh, really?
Indiana was supposed to play Louisville. And then pay not to play them and put a weak team on and beat that team. Okay, so
and then got drilled by Ohio State.
So why would I play a tough schedule
when you can still make it to the?
Yeah, I mean, like any SEC team that plays a top team outside of the SEC is stupid. Their AD needs to get fired, because why play when you can stay in your conference?
Yes, and play all the weak teams.
No, I'm not saying weak team. Hey, listen to what I'm saying. Why would, if you're in the SEC, play anybody outside, play your SEC schedule? Because you don't have a choice on that. They set that schedule up. But if you're scheduled to play in Oregon or Ohio State or Michigan outside of the SEC normal schedule, you're stupid. Because all you're doing is setting yourself for failure. But if I can play a Greenup College, and beat them, that's a win. Then if I end up losing a game in the SEC, but I still won because I didn't play Oregon. Because if I play Oregon, I got a chance to lose 2 games. Now I got a chance to lose 1 because I changed my schedule around. That's all I'm saying, if that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't play anybody outside of my conference in the SEC. I wouldn't. I would just play SEC schedule, and everybody else will be a team that I feel like I can beat. I'm not calling them weak, and by no means. I'm just saying I feel like I can beat them. I feel like my recruiting is better. I got more big dogs than they got.
Right.
You know, and that's all I'm getting at.
Right, but to answer your question, Mr. Brown, when I've looked at all the comments, you know, on social media, because you can't help but to see them, because I'm trying to figure out who's watched the game, who watched the games, because especially against the good teams, like I said, if you're 2 or 3, like that's how we won. That's how we Bryan Station won tonight. That's how we beat Ole Miss. The plays just happened to go in our favor on that particular day. But had certain plays went in our favor against Texas, against Georgia, against, if they wouldn't have overturned that
an interception, which was an interception.
We would have won that game. And I'm sorry, winning that game would have changed your mindset, because we lost. Like, who did we lose to after that?
We lost like games after that.
Yeah, or was it after the? No, it was after the Ole Miss game. I think we lost a couple games after the Ole Miss game or something like that. We didn't carry that same momentum going into it after that game, but there should have been momentum. But had we won that game instead of getting cheated, that would have changed some things, because mentally now
we don't use the word cheat.
What do we use, Coach Bryant? Because we got cheated.
If we didn't use the word cheat in our game, we don't use the word cheat in no other game.
Well, what do I use?
We just use
the play didn't go
our way.
Yeah.
I'm not being politically correct. I'm just trying to be.
He said, "Are there many irrelevant bowl games?" That's all just a money grab.
No, it's not a money grab, right? It is young people wanting to keep their career going in college, and it's something to look forward to. It's something.
But most of the good players are opting out.
Okay, but it ain't. But here's the thing: is guys are going to opt out. But it's a fun thing for guys like myself who wouldn't opt out. I want to play another game.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
I just want to play.
And
we had a good time in Jacksonville last year. I ain't gonna lie.
But it's
disappointing that we're not going to the bowl
But
game.
but babe, it's sort of like the same thing. Is Boise State playing for a national title right now? The only person that care is people from Boise.
Right.
No, I mean, I don't care if
I don't want to see SMU. I don't want to see Boise State. I don't want to watch Indiana, who already got blown out by Ohio State.
Arkansas State.
Who else is in it? I mean, I don't want to see none of them teams in the coming up.
Well,
and why did Oregon get the hardest draw when they're the number
based
one
on
team?
the second team? You got to play Tennessee.
You got to play an SEC team.
And who's Tennessee playing? They're playing Ohio State.
Who is Tennessee playing? Clemson?
No. Who was they playing?
I forgot who they're playing. Anyway, Oregon got. I thought they got, for them to be the number one seed, I thought they had the worst draw in the tournament or whatever, because it was like, how are they the number one seed and they got to play against Tennessee and somebody else? It was crazy. Anyway, but that's my take on that, Mr. Brown. I just think that Kentucky was just, and everybody's talking about the discipline that the team didn't have.
They gotta be disciplined.
Yes, you got to be disciplined. But how do you coach kids in this
football
era? Like if you coach them hard, they in their feelings, they go into the portal. They gonna quit on you. If you don't coach them hard, I mean, you can't win as a coach in this new era. It would be hard to coach college at this era right now because
top 12.
They're making their money. And then if you're getting paid and you're thinking that you're going to be a draft pick, why play hard? Because now you got to protect yourself to not get injured. That's just my take on it. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
No, I mean it's a factual. And it's a lot that actually goes in. I'm sorry, people. It's a lot that actually goes in to this. And
it's a lot. And people have no idea. I mean, it's still new. Like the whole revenue share starts in July. That's going to be new. The whole NIL, they're still trying to get that figured out. It's still new. And so when you've been coaching for as long as they have, and now you put something that totally disrupts everything that you know about coaching, there's got to be some type of a grace period to get these coaches to kind of figure it out.
Well, I'm good. I'm rolling. You can end it. I appreciate you letting me come on your show. I really mean that.
I told you to make you my
and
permanent co-host. We have a good time.
Well, and I can't wait for Coach to come back on the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. And
do a deep dive.
I don't know if he's still listening or not, but we got to work on the laughter at
How
me.
about them Cowboys?
Man, come on, man. The Cowboys. Cowboys.
We've been on here 2 hours.
Cowboys give me material. All right.
I know. So Coach Brown, he said, do I think should NIL players have to play in bowl games? Absolutely. I think that should be part of it. That we're gonna give you some money. Don't be opting out.
No, first of all, they're not giving them some money. They're giving them money.
They're giving them money.
Oh.
Yes, you should be playing in the bowl game because
Go Niners.
We're compensating you enough for you to come and play, especially when
Go Niners.
When the revenue share comes. They're going to be getting a nice little penny, right? So
Go Niners.
that's that. Anything else, Mr. Brown? We're gonna call it a night because you know how you and I get. We can get on here all day.
Hey, Skim, when are you coming on?
And when are you coming on, Mr. Brown?
When you gonna be Bobby Brown? Come on solo.
I should have sent you the link today.
No, we're gonna send you the link.
Next week. You got us next week?
And he can't say no. That'd be rude. Tell him that'd be rude.
He said that'll be rude for you to say no. We got you. You got us next week, Mr. Brown. So anyway, we're done.
And tell him it'll be his subject.
And it'll be your subject. Oh, he always has. He said thank you. He said thank you. All right, that's it. So we are affectionately sponsored by the Lexington African American Sport Hall of Fame. I believe that there's a bye. So Kentucky's schedule came out. So those of you that don't know the schedule, there is a bye week in September the 20th, I think. I think that is penciled in as maybe the date of the gala for 2025 gala is, I'm telling y'all to pencil in September the 20th for the 2025 gala. We have not started the process they have not started the process of the nomination process yet.
The open dates is September 20th and October 11th.
So September 20th and October 11th are the open dates for, and I'm thinking September 20th. I already talked to Jennifer and I put that in her spirit. And so we're crossing our fingers that September the 20th is going to be September the 20th or October 11th is going to be the date of the gala, so that we can get that in, and we're not having to balance going to a game, because this year we was a red carpet host, and we elected to not go to the game, and because of our obligation for the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, and we enjoy that, and I hope they ask us back as a red carpet guest or some other part of the program. Anyway, so that's it for me. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you go to Facebook and to Hits and Heels, hit the like button. Make sure you share it with all of your friends. Go to Hits and Heels on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you like it and help us out with that, so that we can kind of get this thing popping. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week.